though it is Kali Puja, but it's celebrated in only a specific region. But to devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, so the day is very important because it is well known that on the day of Palaharini Kali Puja in a particular year, I don't remember the details. So Sri Ramakrishna made Sharada Devi sit I mean sit, and then he worshipped her as Shodashi. Shodashi is Tripura Sundari. So what we call as Lalita in the south is called as Shodashi. So he worships Holy Mother as Shodashi and then offers the result of all his tapasya. So if you have to know what is the kinds of tapasya that Sri Ramakrishna performed, you have to read this book called Ramakrishna Leela Prasanga, which in English is translated as Sri Ramakrishna the Divine Master. That is the original translation, and recently another translation has been made called Sri Ramakrishna and his Divine Play. So in that, I think one volume of that book is entirely devoted towards the sadhana that Sri Ramakrishna did, and the result of all that sadhana he offered at the feet of Sharada Devi his consort. But then he looked upon her as the mother herself. And just a few comments I'm making because today's chapter is quite small. So personally, I look upon Sharada Devi as the Divine Mother Sharada herself. So Sharada is Sharada Devi. Sri Ramakrishna also used to say, and I have great firm conviction in the fact, and it is an experience based conviction, I wanted to say. And then even in Sharda Devi's life, so there are some incidents so which say that, so because we are discussing Ramayana, so when she went to Rameshwaram and things like that, so there are some events to show that she was Janaki herself, so Sita Devi herself. And also very interestingly, I'm just trying to bring some connection to today's chapter. So in today's chapter we will go to Anga Desha. Anga is the current day, some parts of Bihar. It's called Angadesha. So Munger and places like that. So Angadesha is Bihar. So incidentally, when once Sharda Devi was going by train, so to somewhere else, maybe to Kashi or some place, and those days trains used to stop at places for a long time. So to fill water and things like that to the engine, or maybe to deload the coal and things like that. So at one place in Bihar, I think Champaran or somewhere, the train stopped, and suddenly from nowhere a person, a layman, I mean a lay worker, suddenly comes running to Sharda Devi and falls at her feet, and he's filled with tears, saying that today I have seen Janaki. So he was a worshipper of Sita. Sita is also supposed to be from Bihar, Mithila. So he says, I have seen Sita Devi today. So I just wanted to remember Sharda Devi today on Palaharini Kali Puja, and also because Bengal and Odisha are suffering from a great cyclone. So let us also think of Bengal and Odisha today, so that there is some relief to them mentally, at least, if not physically. So having said these things, we will enter into the class today. We just finished, I think, Ashtama Sarga last class. So we will now start with Navama Sarga, the ninth Skandha. अथ नवमः सर्गः एतत् श्रुत्वा रहस्सूतो राजानमिदमब्रवीत् श्रूयतां तत्पुरावृत्तं पुराणे च मया श्रुतं. So we have seen in the last chapter that so Dasharatha thinks that he should perform, so he thinks that he has to perform Ashwamedha Yaga. Then he consults his ministers, he consults all the priests, gurus, and all of them, and they also agree to the proposal. So they go, and then he instructs his ministers to do accordingly all the required things. So the place and what all has to be done, he instructs them to do. And then he also leaves the meeting. He goes to his palace and he tells his queens that you should also be ready. You should take up the vratas because we are going to undertake this yaga. So now Dasharatha is in his palace. So that's where we left in the last sarga. And then now what happens? The Suta is charioteer, but like I said, Dasharatha's very close friend Sumantra is his minister and also charioteer also. And then he goes to the chamber of Dasharatha, to the palace of Dasharatha. So Sumantra is a very, so I would say, very important character in Ramayana, and he's a great statesman. He's a diplomat. He knows when to speak and how to speak. That we will see in Ayodhya Kanda again and again. I mean, in some situations you will see. So he knows what to say, what not to say, and how to say, and things like that you will see. And also we can make out that he was very close to Dasharatha as a friend, because he was the one. I mean, Vasishtha scolds Kaikeyi, and he also scolds Kaikeyi. They are the two people, as far as I remember, who scold Kaikeyi for making such a choice, or for asking such boons. So to take that freedom to shout at the queen, so you should be someone really close. So we can see that from the story. So this Sutaha here in the shloka refers to Sumantra, who is also the charioteer of Dasharatha. He is the minister and also the charioteer. So etat shrutva rahas suto rajanam idam abravit shruyat. So he says, so he etat shrutva means after listening to all this, that means he was participating in the meeting, and then Dasharatha goes to the chamber, his chamber, and Sumantra also goes to the chamber. So this Rahaha is coming here. Rahaha means, so Antahpure. So secretly he went to the chamber and told him. So this Rahaha is an interesting word. So I just remembered. So this is how Gita Govindam starts. So there is a very famous book called Gita Govindam written by Jayadeva. So he's called Jayadeva Goswami by Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So Jayadeva starts his Gita Govindam with this word Rahakya Radha Madhavayor Jayanti Yamuna Kule Rahak Kelayaha. So Rahaha means secret. So the secret place, secret sports of Radha and Madhava, may they be victorious. So Radha Madhavayoho Jayanti Yamuna Kule Rahak Kelayaha. So very beautifully the first line of that shloka. So Meghair Meduram Ambaram Vanabhuvi Shyamam Tamaladrumaihi Naktam Bhirurayam Tameva Tadimam Radhe Grihum Prapaya Itham Nanda Nideshitas Chalitayoho Pratyadhva Kunjadrumam Radha Madhavayor Jayanti Yamuna Kule Rahak Kelayaha. So I don't want to explain the entire verse, but this Rahak Kelayaha I wanted to tell. So Rahak Keli is the secret sports of Radha and Madhava. And then the first line, so it so happened 2-3 years back, I remember I went to Rishikesh along with Swamiji. So we went by flight. So because Swamiji was coming, Ashram sent a car to Dehradun airport, and from Dehradun airport we were going to Rishikesh, Dayananda Ashram. And it was evening time, twilight time, and I saw this exactly the same kind of description that Jayadeva Goswami gives in the first line. Meghair Meduram Ambaram. So this Ambaram means sky. Sky is filled with clouds. And then Vanabhuva Shyamas Tamaladrumaihi. So the Vanabhuvi forest area is looking dark because of the Tamala tree. So there is one tree called Tamala. It has the green, the color of the tree is greenish, blackish green. So the tree looks like black in color. There are so many black colored trees. So the forest itself looks black. So you have to pass through a forest when you're going from Dehradun to Rishikesh. A small forest comes and then it's mountainous. So I saw the scene. And then Naktam means it's twilight time, so night time. So it was exactly at that time. So when we were going, there was still some sunlight. The time ashram to already dark. So that's the time. So anyway, I suddenly remembered that. So Radha Madhavayor Jayanti Yamuna Kule Rahak Kelayaha. So the same Rahaha here. So Rahaha means secretively. Secretively means he went to the chamber. So in Antahpura, Sumantra goes to Antahpura, and Rajanam idam abravit. To that Raja Dasharatha, Sumanta said the following words. What did he say? So you can see, I told you, Valmiki always uses direct speech. So he just says Sumantra said, and he goes on to say what Sumantra says, and then in subsequent shloka, Sumantra quotes Sanat Kumara. So that also keeps on going. So Sumantra is speaking. So Sanat Kumara is speaking. This Sumantra is speaking, and that Valmiki is telling. So it goes like that. So Rajanam idam abravit. What is he saying? Shruyatam tat puravritam puranecha maya shrutam. So Shruyatam Dasharatha. So he's telling, hey Dasharatha, Shruyatam, listen. So I heard earlier there was a story. There was an incident that happened earlier, and I heard about that incident. Puravritam. So it happened earlier, and Puranecha Maya Shrutam. Purana here does not mean Puranas that we know subsequently, because mind you, Valmiki is Adi Kavi, so Puranas came later. Or in one way you can say Puranas were written by Vyasa, or maybe Puranas were existing as stories. The stories are always there. So even in so before Rama also there were avatars. So those avatara stories are always there. So Puranas and literature maybe were not there. So Puranecha Maya Shrutam. So in Puranas here you should take as the stories that were there prevalent at that time. So in that I heard about this one incident. So Ritvigbhirupadishtoyam Puravritto Maya Shrutaha Sanat Kumaro Bhagavan Purvam Kathitavan Katham. So Ritvigbhirupadishtoyam. So whatever has been told so far by these Ritviks who just, there was a meeting in which all these Purohitas came. So they said, what did they say? You perform Ashwamedha Yaga and you will definitely get children. So they said that and left. So the same thing I also heard. So Puravritto Maya Shrutaha. So I also heard previously this particular incident happened, and I also heard something. In fact, I heard even something more specifically, he says. So that's how the Tikakaras interpret. Sanat Kumaro Bhagavan Purvam Kathitavan Katham. So Bhagavan Sanat Kumaraha. Bhagavan is, like I said earlier also, Bhagavan actually means Bhagavan Ishvara. But then even to Mahatmas, we use this expression Bhagavan. So Akhandananda ji Maharaj Shri very nicely says why Mahatmas are called Bhagavan, because in their antahkarana there is no more ahankara, only Bhagavan is there. So you call them as Bhagavan, because there is no ahankara, there is only Bhagavan in their heart. So you call them as Bhagavan. So Bhagavan Sanat Kumaraha Purvam Kathitavan Katham. So Katha means you can say story. So Kathitavan Katham. So in Bengali, if you know little Bengali, you can make out. So Bengalis people say, so bolna, what we say as bolna, so they say katha. So katha bol means you talk. So what we say as talking, they use as katha. So kathitavan katha means he said the following words. So that's the meaning. So kathitavan means he said, and katha means words. So with these words he said. What did he say? Rishinam sannidho rajans tava putragamam prati. So in the assembly of rishis, he told that Dasharatha will get children. So this is what Sanat Kumara said in the assembly of Rishinam Sannidho, in the assembly of rishis. So Tava Putragamam, so Tikakaras are saying Putragamam means, so he is not talking about Putra Janma, but Putragama. So even Sanat Kumara long back, he himself said that sons will come to Dasharatha. That means Vishnu will take avatara as Dasharatha's children. That's the meaning. So Tava Putragamam Prati. So about the arrival of your sons, Sanat Kumara spoke about it. Rajan means hey Rajan, hey Dasharatha, about the arrival of your sons. Sanat Kumara also spoke previously. काश्यपस्य च पुत्रोस्ति विभाण्डक इति श्रुतः ऋष्यशृंग इति ख्यातस्तस्य पुत्रो भविष्यति. So now all this is so Sumantra is quoting directly Sanat Kumara, but Sanat Kumara is using future tense. So you should remember, when Sanat Kumara was saying this story, the following story of Rishyashringa, which is going to come in this and the next sarga. So the story of Rishyashringa at the time of Sanat Kumara, it was future. At the time of Dasharatha and Sumantra, it's already past. So that you should see. So like this is how Valmiki speaks. He just speaks direct speech. So here in this entire sarga, you will see only future tense is used. But then this is future from Sanat Kumara's that event, not from Dasharatha and Sumantra's event. So Kashyapasya cha putrosti vibhandaka iti shrutaha. So Kashyapa means, so in some pathas it is Kashyapa, but in Tilakakara's patha it is Kashyapa. So Kashyapa, there was a rishi called Kashyapa Prajapati. He had a son called Vibhandaka. So this Kashyapa is also a very important character. So Kashyapa, actually we say Pashyaka, that is his name. So he is Pashyaka, and then there is Varna Vyatya, there is an interchange of some letters, and it became Pashyaka. So like Simha is actually Himsa, that which causes Himsa is called Simha. So he who has seen Pashyaka is called Kashyapa. So what did he see? So they say traditionally that so Kashyapa saw the 8th ray of the sun. So we know 7 rays of sun, 7 rays of the sun's light. So but then this Kashyapa Prajapati saw the 8th ray. So maybe something like ultraviolet or maybe infrared. So maybe ultraviolet. So he saw the 8th ray, they say. So that's why he is Pashyaka. He saw that 8th ray of sun. Therefore he is called Pashyaka. And then that Pashyaka has become Kashyapa. So that Kashyapa has a son called Vibhandaka. Vibhandaka iti shrutaha. By the name of Vibhandaka, he is famous. So Rishyashringa iti khyatas tasya putro bhavishyati. Tasya means Vibhandakasya. To that Vibhandaka bhavishyati, there will be a son. There will be a son will be born to that Vibhandaka by the name Rishyashringa. Rishyashringa iti khyataha. So he will be famous by the name Rishyashringa. So Rishyashringa literally means that Rishi who has a horn. You know, he has a horn on his head, they say. So Vibhandaka. So there is the story Vibhandaka and deer and things like that. It's there in other Puranas. But anyway, but then you can also say Shringa means Shrestha. So he's the Shrestha among Rishis. That's how one of the Tikakaras is, I think, mentioning. So Rishyashringa means the Shrestha among, a great person amongst Rishis. So Rishyashringa iti khyataha. By that name, so he will gain fame, and such a son will be born to Vibhandaka. Savane nitya samruddho munir vanachara sada nanyam janati viprendro nityam pitranuvartanat. Savane nitya samruddhaha means he was raised. So he was raised where saha Rishyashringaha vane samruddhaha. So he was raised in the forest. And nitya samruddhaha, nityam vane samruddhaha, that means he was always, so he didn't know any other place except the forest itself. So he was always raised, he was always kept in the forest. he didn't know any other, so he didn't know any other, what should I say, quote unquote civilized life. He didn't know a town or a city, things like that. And then Munihi Vanachara Sada. So he was, so that Munihi, Samunihi, Rishishringa Munihi, he was always roaming within the forest. Why? Because Pitranuvartanath. So his father said, so his father told him, that's how one Tikakara is interpreting. His father told him that you should not go out of this forest. Therefore, he was there within the forest. So that can be Pitranuvartanath, or Pitranuvartanath can also mean that because his father was always in the forest, he was always with his father. Therefore, he was also always in the forest only. Nanyam janati Viprendra. So that Viprendra, that Rishishringa, great Brahmana, so he does not know anything apart from the forest life. Nanyam janati Viprendro Nityam Pitranvartanath. So he always followed the instructions of his father, or you can say he always followed wherever his father went, he followed him. Therefore, he did not know anything else. Nanyam janati. Apart from the forest life, he does not know anything. द्वैविध्यं ब्रह्मचर्यस्य भविष्यति महात्मनः लोकेषु प्रथितं राजन् विप्रैश्च कथितं सदा. So the द्वैविध्यं ब्रह्मचर्यस्य द्वैविध्यं, that means, so tasya, to that Rishishringa, there will be brahmacharyasya dvaividyam. He will have twofold brahmacharya. So bhavishyati mahatmanah Rishishringasya brahmacharyasya dvaividyam bhavishyati. So that Rishishringa will have two kinds of brahmacharya. So that Mahatma Rishishringa, what is the two kinds of brahmacharya? The first kind is the brahmacharya that all of us know, which is the brahmacharya after Upanayana. You know, you wear deer skin, Krishna Jina, and then you wear Yajnopavita and things like that. And from that samskara onwards, your brahmacharya ashrama starts. So that is one brahmacharya. And then what is the second brahmacharya? So this is second brahmacharya, or brahmacharya can also mean, so Brahma is, so Atma. So he who is established in Atma, that is also brahmacharya only. So but then here contextually you should take brahmacharya means that samskara, Yajnopavita samskara, and thereafter brahmacharya. And the second brahmacharya is, so he was, so in Shastras they describe like that. I haven't gone into the details of those things, but there are details that a grihastha also can be a brahmachari. How will a grihastha be a brahmachari? A grihastha will be a brahmachari if he is, what should I say, if he is engaging in relationship only with his wife, and that too he is not engaging at times that are not to be engaged in, and he is definitely engaging at times that are to be engaged in. So both kinds are there. So there are times when you should definitely engage in a relationship with the wife, and there are times when you should definitely not engage in relationship with the wife, your own wife. So even in Raghuvamsham, in the beginning, so there is Dilipa, and I think his wife's name is Sudakshina. There also they have the same problem. They don't have children, so they go to Vasishtha's ashrama, and then they request Vasishtha, so you have to do something. So tell us some upaya, because there is no children and the Ikshvaku Vamsha should continue. Then Vasishtha will close his eyes for a second, and then he will see why is this Dilipa not having children. Then he comes up with a so it's all related to this I'm telling you, so don't think I'm digressing. So he comes up with this, I mean, he sees the past event, why it happened, and then he tells, once, O Dilipa, you went to Indra's Loka, and then it was time for you to engage in a relationship with your wife. So you were in a hurry to come back, because at that muhurta, if you have to engage, you have to engage. So you were afraid maybe that muhurta will cross away. In that worry, you came hurriedly from Indraloka, and while you are coming, there was the Surabhi. Surabhi is a cow in Indraloka, so that Surabhi cow was there, and that cow is a very Shrestha cow. So if somebody is passing through Surabhi, you have to do a pradakshina and go. But you didn't do it because you were in this worry that your wife is there and it is time, so you have to go. So because you didn't do pradakshina for it, Surabhi felt bad, so it cursed, but then it also knows, because you have done for some other dharma only, you transgress this. It's not that you didn't do pradakshina to it, but your mind was on some other dharma. So Surabhi says, all this comes in Raghuvamsham. So Surabhi says, because you have not done pradakshina to me, you will not have children, but the day you worship my daughter Nandini, that. So I was saying that so this the day you worship Nandini, that day you will get children. So fortunately, this Nandini cow stays in Vasishtha's ashrama only. So therefore Vasishtha says, okay, this is the reason. Therefore you worship this Nandini. You stay in this ashrama for some days and worship Nandini, and then by that Nandini's grace you will get children. So Dilipa and Sudakshina Devi, both of them stay in Vasishtha's ashrama in the forest for some days, and then they do this Go Puja, and then they get children. That's the story. So that's why even today some Mahatmas make people do like that. So I know a Mahatma whom, so somebody, I mean my cousin got married, and they, on the day of the marriage only, when they went and they had darshan of that Mahatma, and that Mahatma made them do Go Puja. So if you do Go Puja, you will get children. That idea is there. Where did that come from? Maybe it's there in the Dharma Shastras, but it came from Kalidasa's Raghuvamsham. So anyway, so this Brahmacharya there. So why am I telling all this is there also. So Dilipa was worried that it is time for him to engage in a relationship with his wife, but maybe he was afraid that maybe the time transgresses, and therefore he goes immediately, I mean hurriedly. So if a person is like that, engaging at the appropriate time, not engaging at the inappropriate time, and engaging in a relationship only with the wife, so in such, so there are shlokas like that. So Govindaraja is quoting one such shloka, and then I think Kulluka Bhatta Manusmriti Vyakhakara, so these things are mentioned there. So anyway, these things are there, when you should approach, when you should not approach, and things like that. So according to the rules, if you are approaching your wife, then even the grihastha is considered as a brahmachari. That's what I'm trying to say. So this dvaividhyam, brahmacharyasya dvaividhyam means, so he was a brahmachari because of his, so Maunji Bandhanat, then Ajinambara Dharanat and things like that, because he was wearing deer skin, and then that darbha belt and things like that. Because of that, by ashrama he was brahmachari, but then he got married to Shanta. Even then he was a brahmachari, because he engaged at the times that was prescribed and did not engage at the times that was prohibited. So that is this dvaividhyam brahmacharya. Lokeshu prathitam rajan vipraishcha kathitam sada. So this dvaividhyam brahmacharyasya dvaividhyam of the Rishishringa is famous. So it will become famous. So all this is in future tense. So Sanat Kumara is telling, so that will become famous. And Sumantra also is telling that now Rishishringa is famous for that, brahmacharyasya dvaividhyam, and then vipraishcha kathitam sada. So all these great vipras, great mahatmas speak about this greatness of Rishishringa having this dvaividhya brahmacharya. Okay, so tasyevam vartamanasya kalas samabhivartata agnim shushrushamaanasya pitarancha yashasvinam tasya evam vartamanasya. So this evam vartamanasya means, so he has been always staying in the forest. To that Rishishringa kalas samabhivartata. So days were passing. Days were passing is one meaning, or you can say day has come. So what day has come? The day that he has to get ultimately married to Shanta, that day has come. The Agnim Chushurusha Manasya. So how was that? Rishishringa spending his days? He was spending his days by worshipping Agni. So he was serving Agni. Serving Agni means he was doing. So he was doing, what should I say, Agni Karya. So that whatever brahmachari has to do, that Agni he was doing. I mean also Samida Dhanam and things like that we say. So Agnim Shushrusha Manasya Pitaram Cha Yashasvinam Pitarancha. So to his father also he was doing service. So that famous father, I mean Vibhandaka Rishi, he is famous. To such Rishi also he was doing service, and that way his days were being spent. Then etasminneva kale tu Romapada pratapavan angeshu prathito raja bhavishyati mahabalaha. So around the same time, etasminneva kale. So attu means on the other hand. So he is contrasting, and these things were happening like this at the same time. Around the same time, what happened? What will happen? So Sanat Kumara is using all future tense. So there will be a king called Romapada in Angadesha. So Romapada Pratapavan is Romapada. Great, what should I say, Pratapa is I don't know Pratapa, how to translate in English. Pratapa is strength, maybe. So that strength, so that this Romapada with great Pratapa, he will be born in Angadesha. So Angeshu Prathito Raja Bhavishyati. So Mahabalaha, with great strength, one who has great strength. Such, so Prathita means famous. So Angeshu Prathitaha, in Angaraja, in Angadesha he will become famous. Such a Raja Romapada will be born. So Angadesha, I told you, is modern day Bihar. So there he will be born. Tasya vyatikrama dragno bhavishyati sudaruna anavrishti sughora vai sarvaloka bhayavaha tasya vyatikramat. So that Romapada will do some wrong. So some adharma he will do, and because of that adharma he will not have children. So sorry, because of that adharma, what will happen? There will be great anavrishti. So anavrishti means lack of rain. So because of some mistake that Romapada will do, some adharma that he will do, there will be lack of rain in his kingdom. And what kind of lack of rain? So it will be sudaruna. Sudaruna, because so daruna means it's very, I mean, difficult to pass by, that kind of a situation. So sudaruna means great difficulty, that anavrishti will cause great difficulty. And this, so sudaruna and sughora, so two visheshanas were being used. So Tikakara is telling sudaruna because it is for a long period of time, and sughora, it is difficult to, what should I say, experience that anavrishti, because it is there all over the country. So it is, what should I say, in today's world, pandemic, endemic, or whatever, it all over his country. So that anavrishti is there, and then it is also for a long time, for many years there are no rains, and this no rain situation is there all over the country, all over his kingdom. If in some place there are rains, then I mean the grain there can some way be distributed, I suppose, but then nowhere in the kingdom there will be rains. So sarvaloka bhayavaha, so this situation will cause great panic to his citizens. So sarvaloka here means to citizens of those kingdom. And then anavrishyam tu vrutayam. So by the way, so this tasya vyatikramat. So if the so I think I told this before also. So there will be three rains in a month. So three rains are supposed to be every month. You are supposed to have three rains, it seems. So this even Andal says in her Tirupavai. I'm not able to remember the line, exact line, but in the beginning itself it comes. So three rains every month. So one of those rains will be there if the king is a dharmika. So if the dharmika king, then there will be one rain. So if all the women in the kingdom are pativratas, there will be another rain. And then I think third rain is if everyone does their swakarma, if brahmanas do their swakarma and things like that, then there will be third rain. I'm not sure of the third one, but the first two I remember. So I'm not able to recollect that line. I will tell you if I remember. So anyway, that thing is there in Dharma Shastra. If the king is dharmika, then there will be one rain. So out of three rains in a month, one rain is if the king is dharmika. So he has done some dharmika transgression, great transgression, and that's why there has been no rains in the kingdom for a long time. Anavrishyam tu vrittayam raja dukkha samanvitaha brahmanan shrita samvruddhan samaniya pravakshati. So anavrishyam tu vrittayam raja dukkha samanvitaha. While this anavrishti is going on, because of it, this raja experiences a lot of dukkha. And then what does he do? Brahmanan shruta samruddhan samaniya pravakshati. He will call great brahmanas, and he will say the following thing. So future tense. So what kind of brahmanas? Shruta samruddhan. So they are shruta samruddhan means they have shruta means they have heard. That means they have studied. So back then everything was shruta. So karna parampara only. So shruta samruddhan means they have heard from great samruddhaha means, I mean, great scholars, or so they have heard, they have studied from great scholars, such brahmanas. Or more nicely, shruta samruddhan means they have aged because of so much study. That means by studying and studying they have spent their life. So such kind of brahmanas he will call, and then he will say the following words. What will he say? Bhavantah shrutakarmano lokacharitravedinaha samadishantu niyamam prayaschittam yatha bhavet. Bhavantaha shrutakarmanaha, you people, shrutakarmanaha means, so you know what wrong I have committed. So like I told you, Vasishtha, so Vasishtha in his meditation he will see what is that adharma that Dilipa caused, which is leading to his not having children. So you people are also capable of such things. So of course he's not referring to that story maybe, but then he's addressing them as Shrutakarmanaha. You people know all the past deeds of a person, future deeds of a person, present deeds of a person. So you know what is the adharma that I have committed, and then because you know that, you will also know what is the prayashchitta, parihara for that. So Shrutakarmanaha lokacharitra vedinaha. How are you? Why are you Shrutakarmanaha? How come you know all these things of all the past, present, future of the people? Because you are lokacharitra vedina. You know, I mean, you are Shrutakarmanaha because you know the story of you know the history of everybody. Therefore, you are Shrutakarmanaha. Samadhishantu niyamam prayaschittam yatha bhavet. So he will tell them that please tell me some upaya, something that I can do, some niyama that I can do, so that there will be prayashchitta for the adharma that I have committed. So what will be the prayashchitta? Prayashchittam yatha bhavet, that you tell me. And then tyuktaste tato rajna sarve brahmana sattamaha vakshanti te mahipalam brahmana vedaparagaha ityuktaha. te ityuktaha, those people who have been told thus. So those people, tato rajna ityuktaha, those people who have been said thus by the king, they sarve brahmana satamaha, all those brahmana, great brahmanas, vakshyanti, they will tell the following words, te mahipalam, to that king, they will say the following words, and they are brahmana veda paragaha. So they are brahmanas who have known the end of the Vedas. That means they have studied Vedas completely. And then Vibhandaka Sutam Rajan Sarvopayai Rihanaya Anayatu Mahipala Rishyasringam Susatkrutam Vibhandaka Sutam Rajan Brahmanam Rajan Brahmanam Veda Paragam Prayacha Kanyam Shantam Vai Vidhina Susamahitaha. So what is the parihara that they are saying? So they are saying there is one Vibhandaka Sutta is there, Vibhandaka Maharshi's son. So Rajan, hey Rajan, Sarvopayai Rihanaya. So that Vibhandaka Sutta, do whatever you can, but get him here. So if you get that Vibhandaka Sutta here, and if you worship him, and if you give your Kanya Shanta in marriage to him, then there will be rains. That is a parihara that they are telling. So how are they saying it? Vibhandaka Sutam Sarvopayai Rihanaya. So by hook or crook we say, right? So Sarvopayai means by some means get him here. So Anayyatu Mahipala Rishyasringam Susatkrutam. So Anaya, having got him here, hey Mahipala, Rishyasringam, that Rishyasringa having got him here, Susatkrutam, having worshipped him very well, Vibhandaka Sutam, that Vibhandaka Sutam Rishyasringam, Rajan, hey Rajan, Brahmanam, Vedaparagam, that Brahmana Rishyasringa who has studied the Veda completely, Prayacha Kanyam Shantam Vai Vidhina Susamahitaha. So Susamahitaha is he who has his antahkarana under his control and things like that. So Vidhina Prayacha. So give that Shanta, your daughter Shanta, in marriage to him according to the Vidhi, according to marriage Vidhi, you perform their wedding. Tesham Tvachanam Shrutu. So that is their advice. So you somehow you bring Rishyasringa here and worship him and give your daughter in marriage to him. That is the advice that they give. Tesham Tvachanam Shrutva Raja Chintam Prapatshyate Kenopayena Vai Shakyam Ihanetum Saviryavan. So Rishyasringa Muni we know. So he's a great tapasvi, great Mahatma. I mean, he's very well known. So Rishyasringapuri is there, Sringeri. So it's called Rishyasringapuri. So Sringapuri, Rishyasringapuri. So that is where Rishyasringa has done tapas, they say. So he's a great Mahatma whose mere entry at that place can bring rains where, so his mere setting foot at a place can bring rains where there have been no rains for many years. So that is his great tapasya. So he's a great Brahmagyani. All those things will come in the next sarga. So Tilakakara discusses those things, how Rishyasringa is a great Brahmagyani, and then because the story is like that, the story is a little, what happened, what just happened, like that we will wonder. Then if he's a great Rishi, why did he do like this, such things come, and in that context Tilakakara nicely does parihara of those things. We will see that later. But then that's the suggestion that they give. You invite, you somehow bring him here. They don't say invite also, but somehow bring him here, and then you worship him and give your daughter in marriage. Then there will be rains. Tesham tu achanam shrutva. So having heard those words of those brahmanas, Raja Chintam Prapatshyate. So that Raja starts thinking. So he's again, now there is a new worry. So Chintam Prapatshyate, or now he starts thinking, Kenopayena Vai Shakyam Ihanetum Saviryavan. So now he's thinking, how will I get him here? So Kenopayena. So by what means? So by what method, or upaya means by what means I will get him here. So Shakyam Ihanetum Saviryavan. Saviryavan, that great Rishyasringa of great tapasya, how will I get him here? By what means can I get him here? So how will I ensure that he will come here? Tato Raja Vinishchitya Saha Mantribhiratmavan Purohita Mamatyanscha Preshayishyati Satkrutan. So Tato Raja, then thereafter, having thought like that Raja, so Mantribhir Atmavan Vinishchitya, so Mantribhir Saha Vinishchitya, so he comes to this decision along with his ministers. He comes to this decision that because he is a great Brahmana, great Rishi, so if I send Brahmanas there, they will get him. So because if they go and invite him, they will come. So that's the idea. So Vinishchitya Saha Mantribhir Atmavan. Atmavan is this Romapada Maharaja. So he's a man of great control. This Atmavan, and then Susamahitaha, these things come up a lot in Ramayana. So far you must have already observed that this person who has their Indriyas under their control, this is a very important thing that Valmiki always highlights, because he himself is a tapasvi. So that character, wherever he sees in people, he highlights that character. He's a great tapasvi. He has his Indriyas under his control. So that is Valmiki's lens, you can say. In some way he always looks upon people through that lens of whether these people have their indriyas under control. Having indriyas under control means that you don't do anything according to your raga dvesha. So there is no so svecha vihara it's called. So you don't do anything. So swachhanda vyavahara. So you don't do anything just because you want to do it. You should do something only if it is dharma. So things like that. You don't do anything out of raga dvesha. So such persons. So this entire Ramayana is dharma shastra. So these people who have themselves under control is an important quality that's always highlighted in Ramayana. Anyway, so Atmavan Purohitam Amatyanscha Preshayishyati Satkritan. So Satkritan means Purohitam Amatyanscha. So his ministers and Purohita, he will what would I say? Satkritan means he will worship them, and then he will respect them, and Preshayishyati, he will send. So Sanat Kumara is telling this Raja will send his Brahmana, his Purohita and his ministers, he will send to that forest where Rishashunga is there. Te tu ragno shrutva vyathita vanatananaha nagachema risherbhita anuneshyanti tam nrupam. So te tu ragno vacha shrutva, those that Purohita and Mandis, they will listen to these words of Romapada, and then they will become vyathita. That means they will get disturbed. So they will become dejected, and then out of that dejection they will become vanatananaha. Vanatananaha means avanatananaha. So that akara has gone, lopa has happened to the akara. Avanatananaha means they put their heads down. So they were disturbed by the mere idea of going there and getting that rishi. They were disturbed and they will put their heads down. Why are they disturbed? Because Risher Bhita, they are afraid of Vibhandaka Rishi's curse. So if Vibhandaka comes to know that they have plotted this way that they will get their son to the city, then that Rishi might curse. Out of that fear of that curse, they get disturbed by that mere idea. Nagachira, and they tell the king, Nagachema, we will not go. They will tell like that. Anuneshyanti tam rupam. So they will say those things. They will say that we will not go. Like that they will say to the king. Or another reading can be Anuneshyanti means they will think and tell a further upaya. See, we will not go, but what do you want? You just want him to come to your kingdom. That is what you want, right? So we will say some upaya to you so that he will come. So like that they will say. This they will tell later. So Anuneshyanti you can simply say they will tell the king that we will not go. Vakshanti chintayitva te tasyopayanscha tan kshaman anayeshyamo vayam vipram nacha dosho bhavishyati. So they will say, okay, give us some time, we will think and tell you. So they will think and then they will tell also. Vakshanti chintayitva. Chintayitva means having thought over what should be done. They vakshanti, they will tell the following words to the king. Tasyopayanscha tan kshaman. So tasya upaya means the upaya, some method through which Rishashunga can be got to the kingdom. That they will think over it and they will tell to the king. Kshaman, they are capable of solving these problems. That's how the minister should be. The Maharaja has a problem, you should not say this will be problematic, don't do. You should tell them this will be problematic. You should tell the king like that, this will be problematic, but this is how you should do it. So in CA training they used to tell, so merely because a transaction is difficult to account for, you should not suggest to the client saying please don't take this transaction. So business comes first, accounting comes later. So that's how they say. So if the transaction has happened, you have to help him somehow account for it. That's the idea. Anyway, so tan kshaman means they are capable of finding solutions to the problems. So those people, they will tell the following words. What do they say? Anayeshyamo vayam vipram. So we will get that vipra. We will get that Rishashunga to your kingdom. That's all you want, right? Don't ask us to go, but somehow we will get him here. So nacha dosho bhavishyati. We will see to it that in his coming here, there is no dosha caused. If there is any dosha, then Vibhandaka will curse. So we will see to it that there will be no dosha. Nacha dosho bhavishyati can also mean so your dosha which has caused this anavrishti, that dosha will not be there anymore. So nacha dosho bhavishyati, two ways. Another way also Tikakaras have interpreted it. I don't remember, but anyway, nacha dosho bhavishyati means we will see to it that in getting him here, there will not be any dosha caused, and Vibhandaka Rishi will not get angry and curses. We will see to it. We will ensure it that way. So एवमंगाधिपेनैव गणिकाभिर् ऋषेसुतः आनीतो वर्षयद्देवः शान्ता चास्मै प्रदीयते एवमंगाधिपेनैव. So exactly how did they get him here is not being said in this sarga. It will be said in the next sarga. But then Sumantra is telling, like this, in this way they will get Rishyashringa to the kingdom. So who will get? Angaji penaiva Ganikabhihi, along with the Ganikas. Ganikas means so damsels, or what should I say, courtesans of the kingdom, of the court. So Ganika literally means so it means something. You can Google and see. But Ganika means so these women in the court, these dancers and such kind of women. So I don't want to use the word, but then so you can take as courtesan. So that those women, so they will send those women into the forest, and they will lure Rishyashringa to come into the kingdom. That's the idea. So even this Romapada Rishi also goes. So this Romapada Maharaja also goes, Maharaja. But then these Ganikas will get Rishyashringa into the kingdom. So Ganikabhihi Rishe Sutaha Anitaha, that Rishe Sutaha Vibhandaka Rishehe Sutaha, which is Rishyashringaha, he will be brought by that king and the Ganikas. He will be brought, and then Varshayet Devaha, as soon as he is brought to the kingdom, as soon as Rishyashringa enters into the kingdom, keeps his foot into the kingdom, Varshayet Devaha is Indraha. Here Devaha means Indraha will cause rains to fall. So Varshayet Devaha Shanta Chasmai Pradiyate, he will also give Shanta in marriage to that Rishyashringa. So far Sanat Kumara is telling. So all this is future. And then Rishyashringastu Jamata Putranstava Vidhasyati Sanat Kumara Kathitam Etavad Vyahritam. So this shloka, 19th shloka, is Sumantra's dialogue. So Sumantra is telling Rishyashringastu Jamata Putranstava Vidhasyati. So Sanat Kumara, so far he has ended direct speech of Sanat Kumara, and in this shloka Sumantra is adding that so Sanat Kumara also says in that story that this Rishyashringa will see to it that Dasharatha gets children. So that's what he's telling. Rishyashringastu tava putran vidhasyati. So Rishyashringa will ensure that Dasharatha will get children. Like this also Sanat Kumara said. But this he is telling in indirect speech. So he's not quoting Sanat Kumara, but he's saying Sanat Kumara's words. And then this Jamata, Rishyashringastu Jamata. Jamata means son-in-law. And now this Jamata means whose Jamata? Is he Dasharatha's Jamata, or is he Romapada's Jamata? So how can he be Dasharatha's Jamata if Shanta is Romapada's daughter, and Romapada gives Shanta in wedding to Rishyashringa? And then Sumanta is addressing Dasharatha. So Jamata here should literally mean Dasharatha's Jamata, but then it's not possible. So this is one what should I say, kind of debate. So the settled opinion is that Shanta was actually Dasharatha's daughter, and then Shanta is given to Romapada to be adopted, and then Romapada gives Shanta in marriage to Rishyashringa. But then very interestingly, only today I observed, Tilakakara does not say anything like that. So Tilakakara does not accept that Shanta is Dasharatha's daughter. He does not mention it anywhere. So this Shanta thing comes up in this sarga. This is 9th, right? So 9th, 10th and 11th, in 3 sargas this problem comes. So Tilakakara, because I said in the beginning that I will be following Tilakakara, I am telling you Tilakakara's opinion. Tilakakara says that Romapada's son-in-law is Rishyashringa, and Romapada and Dasharatha are very good friends, and then friend son-in-law is as good as my son-in-law. In that sense, Sumantra is telling Jamata. So and then very interestingly, in 11th sarga, there Dasharatha, there Romapada himself will tell Rishyashringa about their friendship and their relationship. So I don't know if I'm confusing you people, but what all that I want to say is Tilakakara says Jamata here is Rishyashringa, but whose Jamata? Is Romapada's Jamata. But then Romapada and Dasharatha are very good friends. Therefore, he is as though Dasharatha's Jamata also. And also some relationship is there. Some relationship between Romapada and Dasharatha. Therefore, that relationship ends up being that Rishyashringa is Dasharatha's Jamata also. So some Dura relationship is there. So this is a controversial thing. Controversial as in it's not a big matter of debate. But then interestingly, so Shiromani Kara also says the same thing as Tilakakara here. Govindaraja says son-in-law of Dasharatha only, and says Shanta is Dasharatha's daughter given in adoption. But then some things come up because we have time, and then I just have one more shloka to do, so I'm telling you these things. This story of Shanta, Rishyashringa, and this same story that we are going to see here, that Rishashringa will be brought to Romapada's kingdom, and then Romapada will get Shanta married to Rishashringa, and then this Shanta was Dasharatha's daughter, who's given in marriage, who's given in adoption to Romapada, and then marriage to Rishashringa. This story comes up in Bhagavatam in Navamaskandha. So there Shuka says to Parikshit all this story. So in Navamaskandha, generally Navamaskandha consists the story of Rama. They say something like this. It's true. I mean, Rama's story comes in Navamaskandha and Krishna's story comes in Dashamaskandha. But there, in that context, so these things come. So there, Vamsha Vistara is there. So, and that's how Dashamaskandha starts. Kathito Vamsha Vistaraha. So the Vamshas of Yadu kings are being described. So in that context, somewhere this story comes. So, and then Shiromani Kara quotes later, saying that if you interpret that Shanta was not the daughter of, so he quotes exactly what Tilakakara is saying, and then he says if you interpret like this, then it turns out to be in opposition to Bhagavata. So what is said in Bhagavata will become false if you interpret like this. So it just struck me while I was reading this evening that perhaps Bhagavatam was not in vogue during Tilakakara's time, because Bhagavatam, had it been in vogue, Tilakakara wouldn't have said. There it's clearly said that that Dasharatha's daughter Shanta is given in adoption to uh, Romapada. Having said all this, though I have said that I am going to follow Tilakakara, to me it appears that Tilakakara's kind of explanation is kind of Duranvaya. Why am I saying that? We will see when we go further. Because even Ramayana as though hints that Shanta is Dasharatha's daughter only. So to say that no, they are friends, and then a friend's son-in-law is as good as your son-in-law, things like that seems to be Duranvaya to me. Anyway, I have told Tilakakara's view. So Jamata here means he is Romapada's Jamata, and then Romapada and you are good friends, and there is some kind of family relationship also. Therefore, he is as good as your Jamata, and that Jamata Rishashringa will see to it that Dasharatha gets sons. Sanat Kumara Kathitam Kathitam etavad vyahritam maya. So as Sanat Kumara has said, Sanat Kumara has said all these things, and these things I am telling you today. So that's what Sumantra is telling. And then Atha Krishto Dasharathas Sumantram Pratyabhashata Yathyarsha Shringastvanito Yenopayena Sochatam. So Dasharatha listens to this and he's excited. So Krishna here you can take as excited or happy. I will tell why am I telling this both. So this is kind of my interpretation. Krishtaha can mean excited or happy also. And then that happy or excited Dasharatha. So he tells the following words in reply to Sumantra. Sumantram Pratyabhashata means he replies to Sumantra. Yathyarsha Shringastvani yenopayena sochatam. Uchatam, tell me. Hey Sumantra, you tell me. Yatha Rishyashringaha Anitaha. How that Rishyashringa was brought. Yenopayena, by what method was he brought? That you tell me, hey Sumantra, he says. So actually Hrishtaha, so why am I saying excited is, so he's not asking because actually if you see in the previous shloka, Sumantra said that Rishashringa will ensure that Dasharatha will get children. So Dasharatha should ask, because he's already, he's waiting to have children, right? So then Dasharatha should ask him, so how will he ensure that I will get children? So what blessing he will give me? Something like that he should ask. But he's instead asking how was he brought to the kingdom, because this Ganika and things like that are there. So he's excited by that story, that innocent Brahmana, how did they lure him to come to the kingdom? So he's excited by that story. So it seems very amusing to him, that story. So he's interested in that story. If you take that kind of interpretation, then Krishtaha means excited. Or you can mean, or maybe he wants to ask, how did they bring Rishashringa to that Romapada's kingdom? Let me know so that I will also see to that Romapada I bring him to my kingdom. So if you take in that meaning, then you can say Hrishtaha. So Hrishtaha means happy. Again, I don't know if I confused all of you, but then what I'm trying to say is yet Atha Hrishtaha Dasharatha means it can mean Dasharatha was excited by this amusing story. So he was in a forest, so he does not know anything. So how was he lured to come to the kingdom? It seems to me very amazing that innocent Brahmana, how did they trick him to come to the kingdom? So tell me that story. He's telling like that. Or he's telling, how did they bring him to the kingdom? Let me know so that I will also bring him to my kingdom. So I can give those two kinds of interpretation. So Srimad Ramayane Valmiki Adi Kavye Balakande Navamasargaha. We have about 10 minutes. So let me see if I can quickly finish 6 more shlokas from the next sarga, because in the next sarga there are 33 shlokas. If I finish 6, then somehow we will have a balance. I mean 26 and 27 shlokas, and 27 shlokas in the next chapter. Let me see. So till 8:45 we will go on. अथ दशमः सर्गः सुमन्त्रश्चोदितो राज्ञा प्रोवाचेदं वचस्तदा यथ्यर्षशृङ्गस्त्वानीतो येनोपायेन मन्त्रिभिः तन्मे निगदितं सर्वं शृणु मे मन्त्रिभिः सह. So सुमन्त्रः राज्ञा चोदितः. So the चोदितः means he's been pushed, or he's been, what should I say, he's been instigated by Dasharatha to say the story. What story? Yatha Rishyashringaswanitaha, how that Rishyashringa was brought to Angadesha. So Dasharatha inquired about it, right? So out of that curiosity, he pushed Sumantra to tell the story, and then that Sumantra provachedam vachaha. So he tells this following story. Tada means thereafter, having been inquired upon by Dasharatha, how did they bring Rishyashringa to Ayodhya, to Angadesha? Sumantra says the following words: Yenopayena mantribihi. By what means did they get Rishyashringa to Angadesha, and by what means did those ministers get Rishyashringa to Angadesha? That Dasharatha asked him, and having asked thus by Dasharatha, Sumantra says the following words: Tanme nigaditam sarvam shrunu me mantribhih saha. So that which has been heard by me, I will tell you, and please listen along with all your ministers. Why is he saying that? Because now these ministers have to suggest to him that you go to Angadesha and get Rishyashringa so that a son will be born to you also. So mantribhih saha shrunu. So listen to it from me. All that story, what I have heard, I will tell you, and listen to it along with your ministers. रोमपादमुवाचेदं सहामात्यः पुरोहितः उपायो निरपायोऽयम् अस्माभिरभिचिन्तितः. So Romapadam so his ministers, so his Purohita and ministers, Purohitaha Sahamatyah, Purohita along with the ministers, they say the father, what do they say? Upayo nirapayoyam. So nirapayo upayaha. So an upaya which is having no apaya. That means an upaya which does not entail any other costs, other extra doshas to it. Such kind of upaya we will tell you. So please listen. So upayo nirapayoyam asmabhir abhichintitaha. We have come upon this idea. We have thought about, deliberated, and come upon this idea. You listen to that idea. Rishyashringo Vanacharas tapaswadhyaya sanyutaha anabhignastu narinam vishayanam sukhasya cha. So that Rishyashringa, he's a Vanachara, he's been living in his forest all his life. And how has he been living? So tapaswadhyaya samyutaha, he has been living in the forest by performing tapas and engaging in swadhyaya. Such a rishi, that Rishyashringa, narinam vishayanam sukhasya cha anabhignaha. So he does not know anything about women. He does not know anything about these Vishaya Saukya. So Indriya Vishayas he does not know. And what is that Sukha that you can get between Indriya and Artha Sannikarsha when it is there? So when that Indriya goes into contact with the object, so then there is some kind of Sukha, that Sukha. So these things he does not know. So he has a very innocent life in the forest. So he does not know that Rishyashringa does not know Narinam Anabhignaha, Vishayanam Anabhignaha, Sukhasya cha Anabhignaha. He does not know anything about women, he does not know anything about Vishaya Sukhas, and he does not know that there is something called Vishayas itself that can give you Sukha. So he is such kind of a Brahmanist kind of person. So Indriyarthair abhimataihi narachitta pramathibihi puramanayaishyamaha kshipram chadhyavasiyatam. So Indriyarthaihi abhimataihi. So we will bring him into this kingdom. Puram anayishyamaha, we will bring him to this Pura. So Angadesha, we will bring him. How will we bring him? We will bring him by showing him these Indriyarthas. So actually they will send these Ganikas, and then that all that story we will see in this chapter later tomorrow. But then Indriyarthahi, we will show him these Indriyarthas, these objects, sense objects we will show him. And then what kind of objects they are? They are abhimataihi. They are always desired by people. I mean, if you see them, you feel like I should have them. So such kind of objects we will show him. And then Narachitta Pramathibihi, they will cause disturbance, agitation in the minds of humans. So Narachitta Pramathibihi, there is a dhvani just struck me as I'm talking. Narachitta Pramathibihi, they are saying these cause disturbance to ordinary human beings. They will not cause disturbance to Rishyashringa. So they are Narachitta Pramathibihi. They will cause disturbance to Naras, but not to this Rishi. But somehow we will bring him. So by these very desirable objects we will show him, and we will bring him to the kingdom. Kshipram Chadhyavasiyatam. So you please immediately do as we say. Adhyavasiyata means do as. So what we are saying. So engage. I mean you take upon yourself to do as we say. So ganikastatra gachantu rupavatya swalankritaha pralobhya vividhopayair anayeshyanti hasatkritaha ganikastatra gachantu ganikaha. May these ganikas go there. Tatra means to that forest. May they go there. Rupavatyaha, beautiful ganikas you should send. So swalankritaha, they should be nicely. So they should be wearing all ornaments, nicely dressed. Such ganikas you send them, and satkritaha. So before sending them, you should bribe them. You should gift them also something. So you should give your respect to them. That's the meaning. Satkritaha means you respect them, and then you send them. That means you give them something so that they will engage in this task, because they might at any time incur the cost of Vibhandaka's shapa. So if you have to push them to take this risky task, then you should give them something. That's the idea. So pralobhya is you give them some kind of bribe, you give them and send them. Vividhopayehi anayishyantiha. So they will bring him. So they will do something. You can say vividhopayehi pralobhya, you can say, or vividhopayehi anayishyanti. So anayishyanti. So somehow they will do something and get that Rishashringa here. Shrutva tateti raja cha pratyuvacha purohito mantrinascha tadacha kruchate tatha. So this is a very interesting thing, this shloka. So we will stop with this shloka. So tathe Raja Shrutva, Raja listens to this plan and then he says tatha, okay, all right, I will do like that. Shrutva Raja tatheti pratyuvacha. So he will tell to the Purohita. So he will say, okay, all right, I will do like that. To the Purohita who has suggested that idea, he will tell, okay, I will do like that. And then he is telling, okay, I mean, by telling Purohita, all right, he is telling, okay, you go ahead with this idea. But then Tikakara is telling, Purohito mantrinascha. This Purohita tells to the mantris, you do like this. Why? Because so Ganika Samsarga is for a Purohita, for a Brahmana to come into contact or to come across these Ganikas is a sin. Therefore, he is not doing it directly, making his mantris do it. So then if it is a sin, why should he give such an idea to Rishashringa? But then, okay, Rishashringa is a Brahmajnani, and then anyway, that things will come later. But then Purohitaha mantrinascha. So this Purohita tells the mantris, you do like this, and then this tada chakruscha te tatha, te, that mantrina, and they implement the idea ultimately. So the king gives the permission and the Purohita tells the ministers, and the ministers ultimately carry out the task. Tada chakruhu means they do as instructed, they do. Te, that mantrinaha, tatha, thereafter they do as they have been instructed. So we will stop with this shloka for today, and then perhaps in the next session tomorrow we will finish this. So ओम यत्र यत्र रघुनाथ कीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतं मस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम् ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम तत्सत्। श्रीरामार्पणमस्तु।